Here's a question. If you weren't into RC, what would your next favorite hobby be? I was going to make a joke about throwing darts and then use this Dart XB from VRX Racing and just chuck it because it's dart. Get it? XB dart. But I broke this thing bad enough the first time I drove it, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fix it instead.
Welcome to CK4RC.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chaz. This is CK4RC. Check out this sweet shirt I got from Only RCs. This Buggy shirt right here with their retro sunset fade, I think is what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Go to their website, onlyrcs.com. Check them out. Use my discount code down in the description. I've got great deals from a lot of quality partners. Check out Crawler Tracks, Direct RC, Hobby Plus, all the good stuff. Get some batteries from Hobby King, whatever. Use my discount code, get cool stuff, save money. You guys know how it works. Back to the action. That's not even action. Back to reality. Back to life. Back to reality. I won't do that again. I will never do that again. Anyway, if you all will remember, I tried to do an unboxing and a performance test of this Dart XB from VRX Racing a few months back. And if you will also remember, I got my speed run done, and then when I was checking the handling, I drove it straight on, head first, into a concrete block. But that doesn't work very well with RCs, and I broke the steering Ackerman and the steering, I think they call it the steering brace, I think is what they call it, or steering lock maybe. I don't know. I tried to fix it. It didn't hold up too long. It was cold. The plastic got super brittle. My super glue just didn't hold, and I was right back in this situation just in no time. So luckily, the awesome folks at VRX Racing, they watched the video, they asked for my feedback, and I was like, well, I don't have a lot because I'm just completely messed up. And they're like, tell you what, let us know what you broke, send us part numbers, and we'll help you get it taken care of. And so then they did, and they got me replacement parts. So here, this is the steering block, steering rack, whatever they call it, the steering rack, that's what it is. The steering rack that I broke, they sent me replacements, but then also right next to it, look at that, blue anodized metal upgrades of the same parts. So not only did they send me the replacement parts for what I need, but they sent me upgrades as well. There are blue anodized A-arms, there are blue anodized steering knuckles, there's these blue anodized, I don't even know what these are on a Buggy, but like the steering knuckle fits into this inside the wheel. So I don't know, I'll figure that out probably. And then there's a steering link in here that was broken. They sent me a replacement one of those. So I am pretty pumped. Now, normally bashers and metal are a mixed bag. You want to be very careful about what you're upgrading with metal, because while yes, metal is stronger than plastic, that just means that whatever metal parts you upgrade, these aren't going to break. It's just going to break the next weaker point, and a lot of times that leads back into the drivetrain to where you're breaking more expensive parts. But they sent me these blue anodized ones with this black plastic on here. They're my colors. I gotta use these. So that's what we've got in here. I'm gonna get this bag opened up. I'm gonna start tearing this thing down and getting these things switched over. And then as soon as the weather permits, we're getting this thing outside and we're running it, and I'm gonna steer it, not into a concrete block this time, and I'm gonna drive it around. That's what I'm gonna do. So buckle up, here we go. So it took me about 45 minutes to get the front end tore down and rebuilt with the upgraded aluminum pieces, and they sent me a carbon fiber steering Ackerman down in here, if you can see that right there. So that should be much stronger. Obviously, the metal pieces are going to be much stronger, but the steering links and all of that good stuff, the dog bones in there, are still plastic, so there still should be some flex if I have another bad accident. Hopefully I don't, but I mean, come on, we know who we're talking about here. But also, I mean, just look how good that black and blue look together. We've got the front A-arms, we've got turning knuckles and C-hubs, steering knuckles, not turning knuckles. And then the block rack, steering block, that's what it's called, steering block up here. and then the carbon fiber steering Ackerman. So this thing is going to be ready to go. Well, it is ready to go. And like I said, it took about 45 minutes, and all I have to say about that is...
That was easy.
Come on, you know what I mean? Thank you very much, Staples. So I'm gonna see if I can dig up a battery, get that charged up, and let's get outside so we can finally give this thing a proper rip. Well, we got sunshine, we got steering, we got ramps, and we got throttle. Send it. Oh, my steering's backwards. There we go. Oh. Landed under power, that's not ideal. That's what I get for taking my first jump in way too long. Not really thinking about what I'm doing. This thing has all the power. Oh man, this thing's a rocket. Oof. That right there, that's the metal parts holding up just like I need them to. Ooh. We're holding up strong, holding steady. Oh wow, that takeoff is solid. Oh no, we've got a shock that came unscrewed. That's an easy fix though. Got it screwed back in, we are back up and running. Oh, a little bit of air control on my part. Probably could have avoided that. That was some good air though. I love the way it's hitting like the little leaf piles and sticks out here and just taking flight and staying right on track. That's not a good hit. Oh, that's not a good hit at all. That's a broken body post and the shock came unscrewed again. Dang. All right, so now I need to be real careful because I don't want those electronics taking direct hits. Let's go. I don't want to do that, but I just keep doing it. Oh, now the other spring, the other shock has come unscrewed now. Oh, that's annoying. All right, it's gonna be the last pit stop on the shocks, I'll tell you that, because my fingers are all lubed up and they're getting harder and harder to screw back into place, but here we go. Oh, I almost saved that one. All right, shocks are still on, but who knows for how much longer. Uh-oh. That's not sounding good. Good chance there's some rocks somewhere they're not supposed to be. Ooh. Oh wow. Look at that, the chassis plate. I've got a hole in there. That gear's exposed. That's not good. Oh, guys, that's not sounding good at all. That's not healthy. All right, well, this is a durability test, so we're just gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna keep going and until it stops. Oh, it sounds better. I think whatever rocks might have been in there might have come out, might have come loose. There we go. That's the air I've been waiting for. That was pretty good, but that wasn't. Man, it's still so fast. This thing is so fast. This is a bad idea. Except it was an awesome idea. We need to do that again. For science, you got to recreate your study. That's not how you recreate it, though. All right, here we go. For science! Just kidding. Let's try a lineup again. All right, for science! Nope, that's got to get a controlled run up first. Yep, that wasn't good. How are we looking? We still got all 4 shocks. Okay. Oh man, I gotta get a better lineup. This is pretty bad. Oh, I'm hitting rocks and losing control. It's totally the rock's fault. It's not because I'm a bad driver. I am a bad driver, but that time it's not on me. Oh, that was a hard hit. Okay, this thing's holding up. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Oh, that wasn't great. And the shock's down again. Oh, I think I lost both shocks. Yep. Both shocks are down for the count. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Oh, getting a little throttle happy there. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna head back to the Cluttered Basement Studios. We're gonna give a rundown of the Dart XB. So what is the overall verdict on the Dart XB from VRX Racing? Well, I've got some notes. We've got some goods and some bads. I'm gonna start with the goods this time. This platform packs a lot of promising features. How's that for alliteration, huh? All right, so we're talking about, first of all, it's got a great looking design. The graphics on there, very well done, VRX Racing. We've got oil shocks, and the suspension is really nice on this. It's brushless, and we've got a standalone ESC and receiver, so that is really nice. I like that a lot. And then the metal upgrades, those were fantastic. Those were really nice. I like those a lot. And the ease to put them all on, fantastic. So those are some of the goods. And of course, I mentioned this in the first one, this FlySky transmitter, it's nothing fancy, but it's just a good transmitter. It feels great. Using this radio with this buggy was a solid choice. So, well done, VRX Racing. Now, some of the issues. So, obviously, the first time I ran this, I did what I do, and I ran it right into a concrete wall, concrete block, and messed it all up. VRX Racing has been awesome to work with. They sent me replacements and upgrades, as I've already mentioned, got those swapped out, and we got out there for a bash. Now, the footage in this video was over the span of one battery pack. And over the span of one battery pack, I mean, you guys saw, I was beating it up pretty good. Now, normally, I don't like to just abuse my RCs because I love RCs and I want to be able to run them and play with them over and over. But I really wanted to do an endurance test on the VRX Dart XB because of the first time just went so poorly. I really wanted to see if I throw more abuse at it, but make it more reasonable abuse, how's it going to stand up? And here's what I found. This body post snapped, and so that's annoying. That is unfortunate. And it's just broken clean off. So I can try to kind of glue something back down, and I mean, it's not going to work very well, but it might hold at least for a run or so. The placement of the electronics on this cross brace, it does not allow the back of this body to be clamped on without really bending the entire body and making it bow out of shape. So I don't care for that. It's just not great placement. If this was moved up on the cross brace a little bit more, then I think the body would fit better. And so that's a picky thing, but additionally, we've got some things flopping around in here. I don't even know what this thing is, but that's flopping around. And the power switch has also come undone. There's some rocks still falling out of this thing. So the adhesive that they use to tape things down is not the strongest. I can't even, this one won't even tape back down. So got things flopping around in there. That's just more on the annoying side. Now, I did mention oil-filled shocks, but I can tell you these front ones are no longer oil-filled. I'm not sure what the deal was. I've never had so many issues with shock bodies coming unscrewed from shock caps. It has happened to me before, but seriously, like once or twice ever on all of the RCs I've ever driven, and this one happened like 6 times in the span of one battery pack. So I don't know what was going on with why they were coming unscrewed so easily, but that was a nuisance. That was a big time nuisance. The other major issue that I ran into with this was the chassis. You can see that we dug a hole right here and we've got this exposed gear. That's not supposed to be like that. And then also down here, there's some more gouges taken out. So the plastic compound, I have to question just a little bit because it doesn't seem to be the most durable. So I would like to see something a little better in terms of the plastic compound. And that also makes me think that, yes, while my first hit in the first video that really messed this thing up in the first place, that's a lot of firsts, it was a terrible hit, but I think it really did more damage to this than it should have. So those are my critical notes about this thing. Now, having said all that, there is a lot to like with this buggy. It is very affordable. VRX Racing, they give you a lot of features without taking a big dent out of your wallet. And they're a really nice company to work with. They have been so supportive of me, and they've expected nothing in return. They expect me to make videos, which of course I'm going to do that because that's content. So this was a sponsored video. Not going to hide anything about that, but I just showed you the goods and the bads. And would I recommend this buggy? That depends on you. And it depends on your environment. Now, I was running this, I was bashing it in an empty parking lot. If I was carpet racing with this thing, it would probably do a lot better. I was on a hard concrete surface or asphalt surface with loose gravel, and it was just slinging it all over. It made it more unpredictable to control. But if you are on carpet racing in a class of buggies, I think this thing would really hold up pretty good. There's plenty of wheel speed for air control. I did not do a good job of controlling it in the air. Honestly, I wasn't really trying to. I wanted to see how much punishment it could take. And with all the spills that it took, the snapped body post is super annoying. But this is still runnable. I can screw these back in and figure out some way to keep them together. And this thing's ready to go again. So it's not broken. It just came unscrewed with a couple of shocks. I'll slap some oil in there. I'll get them tightened up real good. And this thing's ready to run. So it's not perfect by any means, but with the reasonable price point and depending on where you're going to be running it and the environment that you're going to be using it in, it is a very viable option. Now, VRX Racing, if you are watching, if you are listening, I know that I was really hard on this. And I was not doing that to try to make your product look bad. I really enjoyed the product. It's a ton of fun. It's got so much power. The speed is fantastic. I have seen other videos with different vehicles from VRX Racing, and they are super tough. So I'm not sure what the difference is in the design between this and that. They offered to send me whatever I asked for, essentially. And I asked to keep it small. I asked for something between the 18 and 24 scale. They suggested this because 18 and 24 scale is my wheelhouse. So I was like, yeah, that'll be great. Now, having said all of that, I have seen their bigger scale vehicles that have been totally abused and have come out with just a few scratches. And honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, it was on Kevin Talbot's channel. And I think we all know Kevin Talbot doesn't take it easy on anything. So, to my point, VRX Racing, if you are still watching, still listening, or if you started watching and listening in the first place, I would be very interested in testing out one of your large-scale, devoted basher trucks. So, if you're interested in still working with me and partnering with me, I would be super excited to feature one of your bigger vehicles and see how it holds up in relation to the smaller scale one. So there we go. There's the breakdown, no pun intended, of the Dart XB from VRX Racing. Check them out. I'll have a link to their website down in the description, so check them out. Really great company, and they've got some really cool design features. I think they just need to work on the plastic compound. So just my 2 cents for what that's worth. Hit that quadfecta for me before you go. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hype. Keep doing RC stuff, and I'll see you next time. Big time thank you to my members and channel partners, and if you would like to join the ranks, click on that join button for exclusive content, never before seen videos, early access to videos, and other exclusive content, pictures, polls, and having an active voice in what comes next on the channel. So appreciate the support. Click on that join button, and thank you so much to the channel members.